The solar eclipse ritual on the 33rd ley line. Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you tuning in to all your Illuminati news. We're going to go over the geomagnetic ley lines and the eclipse of this massive turning point of the equinox, the roses and the secrets of the secret societies. Just finished reading this book, The Templar Meridians, which are the secret dragon lines, the ley lines of different rituals and rites that are performed, have the secrets of these different longitude and latitude lines where the ancients were able to map out different places to set up fort or hide treasure and whatnot. And we know about the 33rd ley line. This is one of the most famous ley lines, the 33, where it's just on a very magnetic field. And we got the upcoming Charlie Memorial happening on the eclipse on the 33rd ley line, where the biggest rituals go down of the superb owl, the Super Bowl at the State Farm Stadium out here in Arizona, where I'm at. And it's on Maryland Avenue and Cardinal Way. I mean, that goes deep into symbolism, etymology as well. But I think this is sort of an important angle that not a lot of people, I don't think anybody's really talking about the ley lines on this massive world event that went down. And this is happening on the eclipse coming up. And the eclipse is part of the Templar ley line meridians, mapping out the eclipses, mapping out the ley lines for the different turning points of the sun and the moon and the different 19-year cycles. Every 19.5 years, something big goes down. Think about it. 9/11, 19 years later, the lockdowns. There's this strange parallel between the eclipse, astrology, and rituals, which I get laughed at by the big mainstream alternative news podcasts for bringing this up. But you know what? Whatever. It seems to actually be picking up steam where people are noticing that there is a connection. And last year, the eclipse landed on 9/17. This year, it will be landing on 9/21, where this memorial service will be taking place. 9/17 is Constitution Day. And in Gematria, you write Constitution, it equals 17/9. So that's how most of the world writes out the days. The 17th day of the 9th month, and that is Constitution Day. Where in the film, through predictive programming, 9/17 and Leave the World Behind, which showed the solar eclipses, which showed the sun and the moon, that's when the event happened where everything was a blackout. Or if you look at the book 1 Second After that Newt Gingrich told all of Congress to read decades ago, has the eclipse on it, or The Head of Hollywood, Mel Gibson, Apocalypto, the eclipse, the world behind, the world ahead. You got the world behind, right? And then you got the world ahead, The Economist magazine, predictive programming showing Trump as the eclipse, as Trump is very connected to the eclipse. He was born on an eclipse. So the solar eclipse happening on the 2/1 and the other eclipse happened on the 7th, the 2/17. Remember the famous film Weapons that was released? Seemed to be a lot of predictive programming with the 2/17 all over it. Well, we got the eclipse on 2/1 and 7. I believe there's a connection to that solar eclipse. Now let's go back in time a little bit, and please put a 1 in the comment if you can hear me okay. I don't want to continue until y'all hear. Shout out to Kathleen out in Southeast Missouri. Betty says, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Hello. Shout out to Austin, from Austin. Yep. Good morning, Dotato. Yes. I think y'all can hear me. We are streaming all over the place. Okay, I got a bunch of ones, so I'll jump right back into it. Thank you very much. So in this book about the Templar Meridians, very good book. I really enjoyed it. It went into the symbols of the eclipse, as you can see in this ancient painting. I don't know how ancient it is, by Rene. Maybe it was drawn out in the 1600s. I don't know. But you see the eclipse and you see the tripod right here. There's more symbolism in it, but we're going to just focus on the tripod and the eclipse and these turning points. Here's the tripod with George Washington in Washington, D.C., laying the cornerstone. Cornerstone faces east for the sun. And here's the tripod with the horse leg and it's the tripod, right? Because the tripod is an ancient symbol and it is used to find eclipses with the meridians and the different ley lines. So just showing you the importance to the ley lines and the eclipses with Trump. His downturn where he started getting sued and put in jail and all these things happened when he looked at the eclipse without the sunglasses, because the eclipse is something you're not supposed to look at in the ancient days. And Jacob Israel shared this, and 777 shared it as well. But President Trump showed the world will soon understand nothing can stop what is coming with the eclipse behind him. So in this book, the solar and lunar eclipses were mapped out by these stone circles. So you see these stone circles all over the world. This was the geomagnetic ley line that had a lot of energy in it, but also was able to have it set up here and set up somewhere else, able to predict when the eclipses were going to happen. And major standstills of the moon occurring every 19.5 years, where we get the big rituals that go down every 19.5 years. The Knights Templars came down here into America. Here's Rhode Island, where they actually have a Templar construction. And it has 3 windows, just like the tripod with the 3. The 3 windows, as you can see right here, the sun is out one of the windows, because this is how they were able to map out the eclipse. Just showing you the importance, once again, of the eclipse, the ley lines, which are also called rose lines if you watch the Da Vinci Code. Let's see if I can make this bigger. I don't know what website this is, but just so I could show y'all the importance of these old ancient structures for the ley lines and the eclipses and the different cardinal turning points, right? This is the turning point. Oops, got to plug in my my computer plug. I forgot to plug it in. I'm going to go to the intro while I grab my cord to plug in the computer so my computer doesn't turn off. Let me see where that intro is. All right, here.
Unlock the seed crush hidden in the dark. Symbols on the wall, rights about to spark. Read Sharp's vision, playing every part. Unlock the seed crush, gotta leave your mark. Unlock the seed crush hidden in the flame. Steps to enlightenment, never be the same. Oaths in the circle, shadow in the name. Unlock the seed crush, it's more than a game. Unlock the seed crush.
Unlock the secrets. Okay, we back at it. Thank you. Forgot to plug in the charger on the computer. So right here in this book, it goes into the important cardinal turning points in the sky. I thought that was interesting that astrologers use this term turning point as the big, event that went down is the turning point event. And on the cover of the thumbnail, you can see I made the turning point the eclipse. But the solar turning point is the September equinox coming up on the 22nd. It's the new year with the sun. And the different 8 cardinal turning points, which is where you get the rose compass, which is the Jesuit sun logo, has the 32 spokes. That goes back to the rose compass. So the roses, the compasses, the eclipses, the astrological alignments, and the ley lines are very important to uncovering the secrets of the ancient meridians of these ancient Templars and different types of orders that still sit at the United Nations today. Prior to the 18th century, the only known method of establishing the longitude was by timing an eclipse of either the sun or the moon. It first required predicting when an eclipse was going to occur, and then required 2 parties. So this is 2 different places, and then they put it together with the Vesica Pisces, and that's how you get the eclipse. But also symbolically, it doesn't have to be on the same ley line for a ritual to go in, because these are secret codes being communicated by the elites. So here's like an example of a effigy of a Knights Templar. When you map it out, it could have secret meanings just where the, different parts of the body are located. I find that very interesting. And preserved in the rituals is the different longitude and latitude positions. And this is mapping knowledge that the ancient Vikings, Celts, Phoenicians, Egyptians were all using. So this tragic event that happened, we're going over the strange updates. And we did a lot of videos over on the Patreon, 7-day free trial. Click that link below. Join for free this weekend. And, if you don't like it, cancel it. But you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click that link below. Go watch our live stream. We do live streams over there, which is going to go into more detailed analysis of the different ley lines and rose lines of the subterranean bloodlines and these eclipse rituals. So you get early access to the content, get the Wicked Smart series, get Wicked Smart, get the documentaries of the new sex recession. Yes, we even did a documentary on the sex recession. And thank you so much, Dr. Comp member, for 2 months. He says, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. I am free at last. Happy New Year to all my righteous people. L'chaim, shalom, am Yisrael chai. Thank you very much. It is the new year, so I wish you a happy and sweet new year. And let's feed that kitty cat some apples and honey. How about that? How about that? Thank you very much. Love it when people say some Hebrew words. I like Hebrew words. Thank you. I appreciate that super chat. And we got the kitty cat super fat. So on the town square, we just saw on the global square, right? X is the global square for the people. The square is where the rituals go down. The executions of the Knights Templar. Here's an image of that. You see everybody gathered around to watch the execution because that's what people like. People like that kind of stuff. Just look at your movies and video games. That's what people like to watch at the square. You had a pope in his 33rd day of pontification get assassination attempt happen on him on his 33rd day as he entered the square. This is very symbolic. Jory Maxwell talked about it, and what just happened with Charlie. But what's happening with us as a society, hooked on the blue light frequencies? This is an image of Clockwork Orange, where Alex was forced to watch these crazy traumatic events over and over again, going into the mind control. So the tripod I was showing earlier to map out the eclipse, it was an instrument that was used to also determine the rose line, which is the ley line, goes into the bloodlines. Hint that an eclipse was occurring. So right there, just showing you that this is all connected with these subterranean bloodlines, which are the different families that you won't hear about. Right here is Renee's own bloodline, which was the House of Lorraine. Renee's the guy who drew that map of the tripod and the eclipse that we were showing right here. He was part of the House of Lorraine. The Templars have the double cross of Lorraine, and Lorraine is also where MLK was assassinated, at the Lorraine Motel. This is why I try to break down somewhat something different. I even look at everything pretty crazy. I'll look at this thing and be like, is that a Templar symbol? It's a donut. Oh my goodness. It's a donut, y'all. But that's part of like the bloodline with the Sinclair, right? Which comes from Saint Clair. And we go deeper on the Patreon. Make sure to go click that link below and subscribe. But this book goes over Prince Henry Sinclair and his Knights Templars to relocate these ancient meridians. And the rose is super important to the ley lines. And Jackie Kennedy, the day of President JFK's assassination, she was gifted these roses. Like, is there a connection there? She's wearing all pink. Here's the Da Vinci Code. It lies beneath the rose. But the all pink thing is weird as well. She's wearing all pink. If you go to Erica's Wikipedia, that's the image that they show of her, is her in the pink, just like Jackie's in the pink. And even Princess Diana is in the pink. This looks pink. Maybe it's a purple lavender, but it looks pink to me. Just pointing that out. I saw people sharing that. And Princess Diana was part of the House of Windsor, connected to the Merovingian bloodlines. And shout out to Decoding with Cody. He was showing the map of all the different Charleses in the news. Charles Redford just passed right after Charles' assassination happened, right at Windsor North. So I think that there's something up with the ley lines. I'm not saying that I know the code. I'm just pointing out something of the importance of secret society elements that are shaping world history. Right here is in Paris, the Argo lines. So when these events happen at certain locations, are they on these meridians that are harnessing massive geomagnetic energy? I would say so. Princess Diana killed in Paris, car accident. Where was that at? And this is all happening on Wednesdays. And here's the show Wednesday, where they have the dead dance that Lady Gaga was performing her ritual at the VMAs, doing the dead dance on the eclipse, right? And now we're having another eclipse this weekend, or on Monday, I think. But Wednesday, the girl in the death scene is in dead Sinclair. So it's something we've been looking at on this channel for a while. And Jacob Israel also was sharing a lot of these images of Wednesday, how it's the meal of fortune, how something bad's coming on Wednesday. And we had those two very sad events on Wednesday, but Wednesday is connected to Valhalla. So Odin is where we get Wednesday. It's Woden's day. Wednesday is for Odin because it all goes back to astrotheology in a lot of ways. So Odin be chilling in Valhalla. That's where he was kicking it. He kicking it in Valhalla. He presided over Valhalla. And Valhalla was tweeted out by FBI Director Patel to Charlie, see ya in Valhalla. Well, Valhalla had its Assassin's Creed. Everything has been about the Assassin Order, right? That's the first Illuminati order. Going into the Assassinations, then you got all the different assassin stuff at the Olympics. The Olympics was the assassin. And then you got Luigi. It just over and over again. This was the year of the Assassin Order. And even shout out to With the Sun 33 was sharing this image of the assassin on his computer screen is this island that has a hotel, I believe, called Valhalla, which is weird, right? That is some strange stuff. What is going on? I believe that this is some sort of communication going on that we're not supposed to know. It's esoteric. It's not exoteric. And Charlie was going to the belly of the beast, to these colleges, these foreign-funded colleges, turning people into radical, like, socialists. And the colleges are also on the different ley lines. Mark at My Family Thinks I'm Crazy broke this down, that all the Ivy League schools rest on this same type of ley line energy. And this is where all the secret societies are like birthed out of, with Skull and Bones and all that. So I feel like there is a connection there. And the eclipse that's happening on the 21st, you'll be able to see it at Stewart Island. And we didn't know about Stewart Island in New Zealand for a long time because these islands were kept hidden. They were secrets. You'd have to know the meridians and the longitude and latitude to find these places. And that's where the treasures would be held at and whatnot. And Stewart Island in New Zealand, where, you know, this is where the elite are bugged out at in New Zealand. That's where their bunkers are at. You'll be able to see it here. This is where you'll be able to see the eclipse. And it's weird because these words and names are part of the bloodlines, right? You got Stewart, and there's just a lot of symbolism when it comes to names and symbols and heraldry and locations. So Trump was just at the UK with the king and queen, and Melania wearing the purple hat. Wanted to show the purple hat. As we're coming up on this Virgo solar eclipse, this turning point. Another character that was in the news was this guy, Stephen King. He has a new movie that was released 2 days after this tragic event called Walk or Die. It was pretty much a hit piece on Make America Great Again. And the first slide of the film actually is a tribute to the Illuminati. This walk or die, this walk that they do, the long walk, they do it on the founding of the Illuminati on May 1st, right here at 8 a.m., which is the May Day call. Which is interesting to point out that, as author Stephen King issued a rare apology. But I don't really know if it was an apology, but kind of interesting with the films coming out. This movie was just released, which we'll be doing a massive decode on, just like we did with the Weapons film that went super viral, on him. And this movie is about sacrifice. And now this movie's out there for football. And I believe that this memorial going down at the football stadium is somewhat connected to football in some ways. I don't know anything about sports, but a lot of people look into sports and have shown that there is a scripted code in sports, as these are the big cathartic events for tribal catharsism to get it out. It's the Roman gladiator games. So interesting. I'll be watching this film and doing a decode next week on it. And when I was reading this book on the Templar Meridians, a name Kirk actually popped up. As Jordan Maxwell showed us, Kirk, Captain Kirk, it's the Enterprise, it's money, it means church, Kirk. But there's even a David Kirk who was the favorite of Charles, all the different names of Charles popping up. And just thought that was interesting. And here's the Kirkwall Scroll. The Kirkwall Scroll has all the secrets of Freemasonry within this scroll. Kind of interesting. And I've been learning a lot of symbols. I bet you I could look at this and talk about symbols going down it. It's very fascinating learning symbolism. That's what we do here. What we do on this channel, we don't follow the paper, because you could print paper. You can print it to infinity. We follow the symbolism. Right here's the ritual. There's the royal arc, the astrology going around it. There's the checkerboards going back to the Templars and the Cistercian order. I can never say that word correctly. But the secret society elements of the assassin order was shown at the Olympics, right? So this being in the ethos right now makes total sense. And here's the French Revolution, which was a revolution. It's the fire in the minds of men. That's what the Illuminati is all about, is fomenting revolution for socialist gains, for world communism. And these movements start off grassroots and then they get hijacked, sort of like the Thuggee cult. The Thuggee cult wasn't this radical, crazy gang that does assassinations for the Kali goddess. It gets hijacked and that's what it turns into. Same thing happened with the French Revolution, which was orchestrated, some say, by the Illuminati. So having the smiling assassin in the beginning of the year with the World Ahead magazine showing the smile, and we didn't even know, like, just like now, like it looks like two different people. What's real, what's not real. Everything is this perfect problem, reaction, solution leading us into the digital ID. And socialism, as capitalism is out and socialism is in. And Time Magazine with the 33-year-old Mamdani is very popular and being pushed heavily. The sun is waking up and NASA doesn't know why. So the sun, the turning points, when the sun wakes up, it causes radio blackouts, power grid failures. So there's something, this is in the news. I'm just notating that this is sort of in the news going back to the eclipse of 9/17 that we were looking at. And shout out to Scripted Reality. He found something nuts. That Charlie wrote to PNC Bank complaining to them, why did you shut down Donald Trump's bank account? The PNC Bank, right? PNC Bank made a commercial 2 days before this event went down, which they took down the video and showed this grave, and the name of the grave in the gematria is connected to Charles Kirk, like with the wording. They're very interesting. I'm going to have to look into that whole PNC Bank stuff. But also the Sinclair thing's interesting too, because the dinosaurs are the Sinclair, and people have connected this dinosaur who isn't a Sinclair to President Trump. So just more Sinclair stuff, which I thought is interesting. But that show Wednesday, which I didn't watch, season 2, I really enjoyed season 1. I'm a big fan of the Addams Family, but it's the Dead Dance. That's the main video, right? That's what it's all about, with Lady Gaga, who opens up the inauguration for the Biden regime, and Lady Gaga training on different rituals with Marina Abramovic as well. And she did this on the blood red moon, September 7th. So I believe there's this big connection to the opening of the ritual on September 7th and the closing of the ritual to the other eclipse. All these different things sort of line up. Pope Leo says he's concerned by some things happening in the US in his first major interview. And I want to notate that they wanted him to do an AI interview, but he refused to do the AI interview. I've been showing you that even during the precise Iran strikes, that the interviews that were going on there and the announcements were AI by the world leaders, the prime ministers and whatnot. That's not a bad thing. It's actually probably a good thing to do strategically, militarily. But everybody's like, yo, Trump's hands, he's an AI. Yeah, we've been showing you on this channel that a lot of the stuff's AI, and we're not going to know the difference, actually, according to Time Magazine, within the next month. By next month, it's going to be a huge thing. It already is a huge thing, but it's going to continue because they got to push people into verifying you're not a robot with the AI. So the September equinox is coming up. This is the turning point with the sun. I believe this is connected. The solar activity is waking up. U.S. issues security alert in France. Leonardo DiCaprio's got a new movie out. AirPods could translate language in your ear, but could it also be putting voices in your head? Who knows? Zuckerberg humiliated after his AI-powered smart glasses glitching. I sort of want to get like some of these glasses with the camera, because I'd be going into restaurants and like, the service is so bad, it'd be good to capture it on camera just how terrible the service is. Jimmy Kimmel, who hosts a show out of the Masonic Temple in California, was canceled. And here's just some more of the eclipse rituals. If you're new to the channel, what proof do you have rituals go down on the eclipse? Well, the CERN sacrifice is probably one of the best ones, as CERN also was reactivated on September 10th a while back, and September 10th was the Charlie date. But April 8th, there was a solar eclipse, and Peter Higgs, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist who predicted the Higgs boson, dies the day that CERN was reactivated on this eclipse of April 8th. This is also the date that Aleister Crowley summoned Aiwass as well, which is AI-was, ayahuasca. And here's another prediction that we did where I said there's going to be a blackout in the eclipse where Trump's face is eclipsing South America, or is going towards South America, and then there was the massive blackout there. But I believe that this is all leading to 2026. These are the rituals and emotional energy to set up what's going to happen in 2026 with the Super Bowl coming up, which is showing the Bay Bridge. We're always looking out for the Golden Gate Bridge in the 128 code, and it having a ritual on something connected to 128. And that's the color. But I also think that this color sort of looks like the 3D glasses that you put on as people will be entering the metaverse. And this is also going down February 8th to 8. And 2026, E plus 6, 2, and 2 together, that's 10. So it's 1, 2, 8. But we're in this loneliness epidemic, so I urge people to get out of the house, put down your phone this weekend, go out, hang out with some friends and some family that you do trust, not some whack ass friends or, hang out with some people that you trust, build connections, look at people. Very important with the loneliness epidemic that is going on as we are all glued onto our screens. I thought this was a funny picture. Because the 33 Silicon Valley power players that met right before this event that went down, and they caught Charlie's assassin 33 hours into the search, they got us all hooked on the metaverse, the simulacra. And we have pair bond with technology in a lot of ways. The Kardashian clan is showing us what's going to happen in the future. We're going to be able not just to have AI boyfriends and girlfriends like the movie Her, but we will actually be able to be very, very physically intimate with these robots in the near future. I don't think that a lot of people will be able to afford these robots, but you get one of these robots, like what we're going to see, because I live in a smart city, so we already have self-driving cars here. The robots, I'm telling you what's going to happen. These Tesla bots are going to be able to carry people. So like, if like you want to be carried and not walk down the street, and you'll have the robot carry you to the store, like that's seriously what's going to be going on in the future. So you can bookmark that. But this is all what's going on in the simulacra. Another thing to do by getting out, meeting people, having intimacy in a trustful way with relationships, of the word intimacy being someone you can trust emotionally, the security of that. Another thing is getting out of the fight or flight. Social media, the news, the power players got us all at war, got us fighting each other nonstop. And every time we go on the internet, at least for me, and I know this is for everybody, every time you go onto it, you're being attacked in some sort of way through your tribe, through your autonomic nervous system. The priming of the autonomic nervous system is our belief system that gets put into us with imprinting, which is different than mind control. And those are the key aspects that get targeted in the AI algorithm for you to get out of your prefrontal cortex and hijack the amygdala and put you into a fight or flight state of fear. And that gets you susceptible to outside influence to tell you what to do, where to go, what direction to take, what vote to take, what vote not to take. So easy, cheap way to get out of this is through breathing, actually, and studying the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve can be activated by just breathing out longer than you breathe in, right? So if you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath, and then breathe out for 10 seconds, you're activating and calming down your nervous system. Because we're in the stress sympathetic nervous system all day long with the news, with the videos and live streams every single day, getting everyone angry. But to get into that parasympathetic state of rest is super important, and something that I have started to practice more as we have all this armor on us and narcissism and all of that to please society and the superego. And digitally, this has become a digital armor where we want to please the ratio and please the crowd and make everybody happy. And this is why narcissism is at such a high right now, is because everybody's fake online, right? Because you build your digital armor with your profile image, with your Snapchat filters and whatnot. So this removes playfulness and spontaneous action because we are surveilled and being watched all day, right? So just being observed and watched by the tech oligarch and society and the ratio in the crowd, that it is changing our behavior and our body structure in a lot of way. I kind of go into that over on the Sex Recession video, which you could check out on the Patreon. And I really appreciate everybody's support here on the channel. This is the Strange Updates for the ritual. Please like that likey poo button, smash that like button, share this video out so when people wake up, they wake up to a donut video. And shout out to Sky Sailor with the $777 super chat. Let's feed that kitty cat. Says, research binary systems. It's coming up and under. Dave Dobbs, a good start. Meow. Chan, and happy birthday. Thank you very much. We do got over 700 people up in here. Once again, please smash that like button. I appreciate all y'all support, and click the link below. Much love, and God bless you.